Driven by a burning desire to conquer the final frontier, Roald Amundsen meticulously plotted his course from his wooden study, secretly shifting his focus from the North to the South Pole to achieve a historic victory that would shock the world. Living amongst the resilient Inuit people in the harsh Arctic, Amundsen mastered the ancient arts of survival, learning to craft fur clothing and navigate dog sleds with a level of precision that would become the cornerstone of his success. As the Fram departed from the harbour of Oslo in 1910, a sense of quiet determination filled the air, while Amundsen kept his true intentions hidden beneath a veil of professional mystery that left the world waiting for his next move. Upon arriving at the desolate Bay of Whales in the Antarctic, the team worked with rhythmic efficiency, unloading tons of supplies and marking their depots with mathematical accuracy to ensure they would never falter in the white void. With 52 powerful huskies leading the way, Amundsen forged a path through the frozen landscape, while his British rival Scott struggled against the elements, highlighting the stark contrast between careful planning and sheer misfortune. Trapped within a small tent during a brutal Antarctic blizzard, Amundsen and his men found warmth in their oil stoves, calmly reviewing their maps and calculating their progress as the howling wind tested their unwavering spirit. Across the vast and unforgiving landscape, the team planted black flags at exact intervals, creating a lifeline of markers that would guide them safely back to their supplies through the blinding expanse of the polar desert. Scaling the immense heights of the Antarctic plateau, the men faced fierce winds that turned their breath to ice, yet they pressed forward with their eyes fixed on the horizon, fueled by the knowledge that they were nearing their elusive goal. On the 14th of December 1911, the team finally stood at the true geographic South Pole, planting the Norwegian flag in the silent snow to claim a victory that marked the end of their arduous journey. Leaving a heartfelt message for his rival within the lonely tent at Polheim, the men began their long return journey under the surreal glow of the midnight sun, carrying the weight of their triumph across the frozen wastes. 34 days later, Robert Falcon Scott arrived at the same spot, only to be met by the crushing sight of the Norwegian flag, a moment of profound heartbreak that would go down as one of the most tragic ends in exploration. Returning to Europe as a national hero, Amundsen shared the secrets of his meticulous preparations in crowded halls, but the cold stillness of the Antarctic remained etched in the lines of his weathered face. As years drifted by, the aging explorer turned his gaze toward the sky, envisioning a new way to conquer the frozen North by taking to the air in fragile aircraft that challenged the limits of human courage. In 1928, when word reached him of a missing Italian pilot in the Arctic, Amundsen felt the old call of adventure and set out on a daring rescue mission that would be his final act of valor. High above the icy expanse, the plane carved a lonely path through the dense fog as the primitive navigation tools struggled to keep pace with the shifting shadows of the desolate northern sky. A sudden and eerie silence descended over the frozen sea as the plane vanished into the heart of a massive shroud of mist, leaving behind no wreckage and no trace of the legend who had mastered the poles and their secrets. Desperate rescue efforts scoured the frigid waters for weeks, but the ocean held its prize tightly, leaving searchers with empty hands and a haunting mystery that would baffle historians for generations to come. The front pages of newspapers around the world mourned the loss of a Titan, while statues were erected in his honor, standing as silent sentinels that remain wrapped in the cold mists of the North to this very day. High above the frozen Earth, the landscape remains indifferent to the passage of time as the ice continues to guard the remnants of the explorer who dared to push the boundaries of the human spirit. The final horizon fades into the endless white of the pole as the ghost of Amundsen becomes a permanent part of the frozen wilderness that continues to challenge the limits of our own imagination.